Welcome to the Barrel Room Podcast, your front row seat to the world of whiskey and bourbon. In every episode, we're pouring up something we're talking about, from small batch standouts to big label legends. We sip, review, and break it all down one pour at a time. We'll talk tasting notes, tell stories, give the occasional review on real-life experiences, and every now and then bring in a special guest from the industry to share a pour and a conversation. This podcast is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors. Edward Jones, Chris Bridget, Age, Wisdom, Bold Strategies. Fallen Bows Craft Experience, crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. Bowie's Liquor, pouring paradise one bottle at a time. The Barrel Room Bourbon Plum. Pull up a chair, we're waiting for you on the inside. And Grillo's Chop and Barrel, where fine whiskey meets fine meat. So pull up a chair, have a pour as we dive into this week's episode of the Barrel Room Hotcast. This pour of the Barrel Room is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Chris Ridgick. Just like a well-aged whiskey, a solid financial plan takes time, patience, and the right guidance. Whether you're investing for the future or planning your next big barrel pick, Chris is here to help you build a strategy that fits your goals and your lifestyle. So let's raise a glass to smart decisions and visit edwardjones.com/Chris Ridgick to get started. And now, this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast, let's welcome our hosts, Kenny Gales and Brian Biskey.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Barrel Room Podcast. Co-host Brian Biskey here, along with co-host Kenny Gales. As you can see, we have a special guest here. Before I welcome him, we want to raffle off this month's free giveaway, which is sponsored by Grillo's Chop and Barrel. We have the Old Dominick 8-year reserve bourbon. I have not had this, but I know Mr. Kenny Gales has had it and says it's a pretty good bottle. So one of our lucky fans will be winning that. And this month it is Chris Vincent. So Chris Vincent, congratulations. We will be getting this bottle of Old Dominick to you. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Jeff, also known as Whiskey 5-0, to the show.
Thank you.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Just got home not too long ago.
So
I was rushing to get here.
Yeah.
I was same for me. Yes.
Life's busy.
I know.
That's all we can say. So I met Jeff through TikTok, actually. If you guys didn't know, the Barrel and Bourbon Club has a TikTok, so it's Fallen Brothers. Mm-hmm. And I came scrolling across TikTok one evening and saw you on there and started following you. And the next thing I know, we were connecting, and now we're doing a podcast together. So pretty cool. So talk us a little bit about the TikTok, how it got started, and kind of what your TikTok is for those who don't know about it, and your handle.
So it originally got started as I made cop videos. I told funny stories, but I also had a saltwater aquarium. So my name was the Salty Cop on saltwater tanks. It was around the 2019 where everyone was getting sick. So I was being a cop, like you couldn't do anything, and I was on night shift. So I just tell funny stories about things that happened to me in law enforcement. And politics got involved. If you're not in law enforcement, there's definitely a lot of politics. So I quit making those videos for a while because TikTok didn't pay anything back then. It was just a hobby, so I quit. And then I got into whiskey. And I got into whiskey. I'm like, it'd be fun to start doing TikToks again. I really enjoy doing it. So I started making TikToks again. I run local whiskey pages to help people find whiskey, and been doing it ever since. On my whiskey page, I do reviews. I'll mix Jack 15 with Coke, just see what it's like. Go to distilleries, do tours, do barrel picks. I'm actually going to Barrel King on the 17th to do a blending thing with them. So I just document all things whiskey and some things just about my life and my family. So
that's awesome. So you mentioned you're a cop there.
Love it. Thank you for your service, by the way. I'm a fireman myself, so appreciate it.
He's a hose dragger. What do you call yourself?
Hose monkey, hose dragger.
Hose dragger.
That's probably what you guys call us, right?
Yeah. What do you call firemen?
We actually have a good relationship with our fire department. They're all good guys to help us out. Yeah. Like, people are fighting us, like they'll jump in and fight with us. So
yeah. And that's pretty much us. It's always a running joke, though. You know, we always give each other crap and stuff like that. So I just figured you guys had some sort of joke or something that you call us. But
well, the funny thing is, Kenny and I were at Lit Cigar Lounge. Shout out to those guys at Lit, doing a tasting for Fallen Brothers, and I was helping him out selling some bottles. And this guy comes up and he goes, "Okay, which one of you guys is the hose grabber or hose dragger?" And I was like, "Not me, that's him." So I was giving him a hard time for that. So how long you been a cop?
Been a cop for 11 years.
11 years.
Same. Been a fireman for 11 years. So.
Well, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like being a cop? I'm sure there's pros and cons.
I do. I mean, the main reason that I really wanted to be a cop was September 11th. Watching that as a young child, that was a big influence. Obviously, 11 years ago, it was a lot different of a job than what it is now. I still love my job. It's just there's a lot of handcuffs on us where it makes it hard to do our job sometimes, which can be stressful when you want to help victims, and sometimes you can't, and you take the blame for it. But it's I can't see myself doing anything else other than being a cop.
Yeah,
but
well, there's no doubt that over the last, I guess, really 3, 4, 5 years, it's definitely been harder for police. I feel like everybody's almost out to get you almost. You know what I mean?
The negative definitely blindfolds all the good that you guys do. And a lot of people don't understand the amount of good that police officers do for us and protect us and all the other extras they do for the community as well. So,
yeah, there's bad apples in every profession. And I think those bad apples need to be pointed out. But to demonize one career because of bad apples, it kind of sucks. It's made pretty much a nationwide shortage in law enforcement as well. So that's caused a lot of added stress to law enforcement.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, well, this is definitely not a political podcast by any means, but you talk about the shortage in police officers, and then you see, what happened yesterday in Dallas, Texas, at the ICE facility, and to your point, pointing out one career and bad mouthing one career when they're they've been hired to do a job, and they're not the ones making the decisions. The decisions are coming from the top down. And yet they're risking their lives every day. And then you have governors like Gavin Newsom out there who's going to say you can't wear a mask to protect you and your family. It's just like, come on, guys. They're literally, they have a job to protect us all. And let's just be grateful and gracious that they're out there risking their lives for all of us.
100%.
Yeah.
And the second, you getting into it because of 9/11 and all that, that was one of the reasons I got into it as well. And then, I happened to marry a gal whose family was highly involved in the fire service. So that was just kind of the icing on the cake for me. And then to kind of point out, we just had our 1-year anniversary for Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, and it was launched on 9/11 last year. And so we do our anniversary every year on 9/11 and actually have a release for it to remember the 343 that died. So pretty cool to hear, that's why you got started. And that date will always hold a special place in my heart. I know that for sure. So
Jeff, where were you at on 9/11?
I was in school. I was in, I think her name was Hubbard. I was in her class. And they honestly didn't say too much during the day. It was when I got home that it just all just poured on us, and seeing it, watched. I just remember the whole week just watching the repeats, seeing the videos, the pictures, the noises that you hear. It really resonated, especially at a young age. I think I was maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah, so I was a sophomore in high school, I think. But Kenny and I are members of the St. Louis Bourbon Society here in St. Louis, and one of the co-founders, James, he's in the United States Coast Guard, but he was telling me at Kenny's 9/11 event at the Bourbon Society that he went to New York to Madison Square Gardens to see, I think he said The Who. Like 3 or 4 days after 9/11. And I guess he walked down to ground zero, and he's like, you could still smell the fuel from the planes and the ash and the burning. He's like, it was even like 4 or 5 days later. I don't remember exactly how many days later. It's just like everybody can remember where they were at on 9/11. That's for sure. Unless you're 4 years old, like my daughter, has no idea what it even is, right? But
yeah, I had to be 9 or 10 too. I know I was in a social studies class, but I remember the teacher, her name was Miss Beatty, and it just was like almost like the vibe almost went eerie from that point on the entire day. And then every class after that we went into, the TV had it on. So it was like school day was gone, and that was the focal point. And, we as kids had no clue what was really going on, or the whole meaning, or how big of a catastrophe this was, until now that I'm older, I truly understand and see what it was all about and why everybody was in that shock that day. So
yeah, I was on the golf course. Sophomore in high school, I was on the golf course. I won a golf match like the weekend before, and my prize was go to the BMW Championship at Belle Reef Country Club, which was that year. And so I was out there for a practice round following Tiger Woods when they came over with the PA announcement and said, tournament's been canceled, get to your car. It's like, at 15 years old, you're like, what the heck does that mean? Like, I didn't even know what the World Trade Center was, to be frank. You know what I mean? It just crazy how that all kind of transpired.
Yep, exactly. So
Yeah. Well, let's Jeff. Let's start with you and I kind of chatted. We're going to taste some bottles today, kind of give our reviews on them. And I think first up, we're going to try the Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style. I'm sure you've had this before, Jeff. But what are your thoughts on the bottle?
I like all things Old Forester, except I haven't had the birthday bourbon, so I can't say that. But
Once again, we have something in common.
There's no Old Forester that I can say that I dislike. I'll say that the one I really like is their Extra Aged 117 series that I recently picked up. That one was delicious.
That one's been popping up a little bit here and there now, so that's kind of nice to be able to find those hidden gems now a little more commonly than in the past. So,
I was at Kentucky's how I got it.
You got it in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a barrel pick with Bardstown. We did a cast strength rye, which should be one of the first cast strength ryes to come into Missouri. And while we were there, like, well, let's just stay a couple extra days. So the last day we went down to Louisville. I'm like, well, we have to go to Forester, and they had him out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice,
yeah.
Nice. I found this 1924 in Kentucky when I was with Fallen Brothers doing a barrel pick. Well, Kenny and I both got it at the same time. That would be of the Old Forester I've had my favorite, hands down.
Yeah,
it's got some great flavor, but I haven't had the 1920 in a while. So,
was that last year's bottle or this year's bottle? The 24.
I think it's. We got it this year, but I think it's last year.
I think it's last year's.
Yeah, it's last year.
I got last year. This is my last year. This year's is back in my barrel.
Yeah,
I like this year's.
Last year's.
You like this year's better than last year's?
I like this year's better.
Huh. Yeah, this is 24.
But you still can't go wrong with 1920.
I was going to say, you still can't go wrong with 1920.
I mean,
it's still pretty good.
For the price point, you can't beat it. 115 proof, so a little higher proof for some people. Heavy caramel, heavy vanilla. Old Forester always has that predominant banana note that I love. I mean, you go to the distillery, that's all you smell is bananas, around the fermentation tanks and stuff like that. So for me, Old Forester is definitely a top 5 brand, in my opinion.
What do you get out of it?
To me, it's more of a banana like nut bread to me.
Yeah.
While like Jack Daniels, I get more of like a ripe banana. Well, Old Forester more is like a nutty breadiness banana.
Like a banana bread.
Like a banana bread is what I get more on Old Forester. So that's like how I can tell the difference if I'm drinking like a Jack Daniels is the difference of banana.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I don't ever know if I've gotten banana out of Jack Daniels though.
Yeah, I would think some of their like 10, 12, 14 year maybe. It's 14 years holding a little more oak flavor profile than the other ones for me.
What's your favorite Jack, Jeff?
I did a blind on one of my TikToks, and it was the Jack 10, 12, 14, and last year's Coy Hill.
Yep.
My favorite go-to, if I can get them when they pop up, is the Jack Daniel Barrel Proof Fries.
Oh, those are phenomenal.
Really?
Absolutely, yep.
But the Jack 14 is a phenomenal whiskey. So if I had to say, I'd prefer it over my Coy Hill. My Coy Hill's it's a hot gal.
It is.
She lights you up.
A lot of those barrel proof ryes are running around the 130s too, which is they don't drink like a 130, but they're all sitting around that, it seems like, and they have a ton of complexity going on with those and a lot of different flavor profiles coming out for me. But yeah, if I find those, I always snag those for sure.
You know what's crazy about Jack Daniels to me? And then I'll let you chat real quick, Jeff, is I don't like regular Jack, like at all. And somebody for my birthday gave me a Jack Daniels single barrel, and it's phenomenal. And then Kenny got, was it the 12 year or 14 year that we got?
14
year, and I didn't like it. It was too oaky for me.
Yeah, so for like me, I really enjoyed the 14. I think it was phenomenal, but a lot of people that I've been running into kind of aren't really necessarily enjoying it as much as like I would, I don't, and maybe it's because it has a little more oak, has a lot more oak on it than some people probably like enjoy. But for me, I like oaky stuff. So
yeah,
it's not as sweet oakiness. No. It's like the Russell's 15 had a lot more sweetness to the oakiness.
Yeah.
The 14 is a lot more drier.
Yes, yep. Agreed. 100% agreed. Yeah, and I like more of that sweeter caramel, vanilla notes, which is why originally I never liked rye. It's just not until probably the last month I've even started to tip my toe into rye.
That's rye season now.
It is rye.
It's rye season.
Yeah.
everybody tells me who's been drinking whiskey a long time, and I have too, but I have never like collected really until this year.
If you see this one,
Do what?
if you see this rye,
That French oak, that's really
no,
good.
this is the cask strength rye by 13 Colony.
Yeah, is it still French oak finish though? Because I think that green label's the French oak finish. They have the 90 proofer, and then they have that cask strength one.
This is the cask strength. I don't see anywhere where it says finish, but
okay, they usually said French oak rye or something on the front. I thought, but maybe that one's not. I know the 90 proof one that has that same colored label is a French oak finish.
I don't see.
But I think they use more. They use oak spirals more than anything, so they don't even necessarily use staves or a barrel. They use spirals. 13 County does.
If it is French oak finish, I'm even more impressed because I'm not a huge French oak fan, and I really like that rye.
What French oak did we have not too long ago that was pretty damn good? That I was like, I like that, and I'm not a big I'm not a Maker's 46 guy. I'm not a big fan of it. This was a French oak, and we were somewhere, and somebody,
I think it was Zach that had it.
It was a French oak. I don't remember what it was, and I was like, that's actually
Penelope creme brulee.
No, wasn't
it? Was I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but so back to Jack. So Jack 14 is your favorite. And then you also mentioned their rye. What did you say was your next favorite?
Yeah, I really like their barrel proof ryes, but they're single barrels, so every single one's different. Same thing like with your single barrel Jack Daniels. Those barrel proof can be amazing. Like one of my local stores, it was like a banana cream pie, the last one he had. They sold out so quick.
Yeah, well, this one, it's up there on my shelf. It's phenomenal. And I don't, it's from Total Wine. I know that much, but I don't know.
In every firehouse, every patrol car, every ambulance, and every military unit, there's a bond forged in courage, sealed by sacrifice. At Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, we raise a glass to the heroes who never made it home. Crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. Each bottle of our handcrafted whiskey tells a story of bravery, of brotherhood, of lives lived in service. And with every pour, you're giving back. Because a portion of every bottle goes directly to organizations supporting the families of fallen first responders right here in our area. To the ones who answered the call, to the ones who still do, and to those we'll never forget, Fallen Brothers, Crafted Spirits. Raise one. Remember them. Available now. Drink with honor. Support with heart.
I'm already talking too much about him. It's going to hype him up, and I won't be able to find him anymore.
Exactly.
Well, there was a 1792 from Lit Cigar Lounge. They did a barrel pick, and it was like a banana bomb, almost like banana cream pie. So that was a really good pick, and that was running around. It's around $40, so you can't really beat that. And it was barrel proof, so that was a really good one as well. But
I've had very little 1792. I do have a full proof and their small batch.
Yeah.
You ever had their sweet wheat?
It's good.
I had an opportunity to buy it, but I passed on it.
It's delicious.
It is.
That's what I've been hearing.
Very good.
I did a live stream yesterday, and someone said if I see one, pick it up next time.
You should. It's gone down, thankfully, because prices have gone back to reality. So I think, you might be able to pick it up for a good price now. So I would definitely grab it.
Weller 12 right before I came home for $60. So prices are definitely dropping.
Where did you get that
at? In a town west of me, if you know my location. That starts with a P.
Got it. Okay. Nice. Damn, I just paid $135 for one last weekend.
Yeah, but you were doing a good deed. You were helping a guy out that needed some help. So
I left one there. They had two of them. I said, I'll save this one for someone else. There's still one there.
Yeah, no, last weekend I bought 5 bottles from I wouldn't say young kid, younger than me, early 20s. Weller 12, 2023 Maker Cellar Aged, Blanton's Gold, 14-year Rare Redemption, and then an 10-year Eagle Rare. And when I went to buy it from him, the reason he was selling it was found out his dog had cancer and he needed the money for the vet bill. So I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. So
that's. I actually for that.
We both won.
So you helped him out.
Props to him for getting those bottles, though. I don't know how
I know.
Those.
I've never had that Rare Redemption Canadian whiskey, though. The 14-year. Have you?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I've never even had the Eagle Rare 18. I haven't had that. I've had one BTAC product, and that was sent in a handshake. And I reviewed it blindly, and it was a Thomas Handy. I was like, this is just meh. It was good.
Yep. I almost agree with you on that. I bought a pour that was way too expensive one time, and I was excited for it, and That was, same thing you just said. So
I'm
I
that
rated
way,
a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm that way with Elmer T. Lee. You ever had that? It's like,
Yeah, I got it for $40 when I found it in the same place, same store.
good
well,
price. Yep.
yeah, it's a good price. It's hard to find.
It's a low proof too. It's like 90 proof, I believe, too. So,
But when we were at Barrel Blends in Kentucky, I had paid $40 for a pour of it. And I was like, I'm glad I paid $40 for a pour of this, not $250 for a bottle, because it's not worth it.
Yeah, you ain't finding that around here for $40.
No.
So.
To me, it's very similar to like Blanton's. Like, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think Blanton's is bad. It's not worth what people are paying for it. Like, I think it'd make a great mixer. It'd be great if it was like an everyday shelfer. Like, if it was something I could get every day for that price, wouldn't mind it. But what people are paying for like Blanton's or Elmer, it's just crazy. It's just there's just not enough in it.
Yep. No, I totally agree.
So many good products. So anyway, that was the 1920 that we just had, Old Forester.
This is their 10-year 1924. Now, you said you like this year's better than last year's. This is last year's.
Yeah, I had my last year's is what I'm getting low on it, so I need to.
Well, so am I.
I gotta kill her off before she gets too oxidized.
Right.
So you bourbon hunt a lot. It sounds like you drive around and find bottles.
Yeah, that's part of one of my whiskey pages that I run. I run the Missouri Bourbon Hunters page, and then I run a local county page where I go around and try and find bottles for the best prices. And we also like to call out bad prices and really slam those places.
Yep.
There's a few places around here in our suburb of St. Louis that you walk in and they'll be asking $2,000 for a 10-year Pappy, and it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah. There's one that's a couple doors down from my fire station that every time I go in there, I subtly make it a point to bring up what he has behind the counter, which is they have a million fantastic bottles. And I always make it a point to say, man, you got a good price over here on this, on the side. I was like, what about these bottles back here? I said, are those that ever going to go down a little bit since the market's kind of gone off a little bit and it's going back to reality? And he's like, well, which one do you want? And I'm like, well, how about that Blood Oath cab finish right there? I was like, that should be about $143 maybe, and he's like, oh, let me check it out. So he rings it up and he goes, that's $290. And I go, holy cow, dude. I'm like, okay, so I understand that, I didn't even understand when the secondary stuff skyrocketed, but now I completely don't understand it. And I'm just like, do you understand how many more people would come frequent your store if you lowered those prices and continued to get like stuff like this in? And he's like, oh, I don't know, this is just what it is. And, we'll sell them eventually. So we're not worried about it. And I'm just like, okay, that's why people don't come back to your store. So in my opinion, I
very true.
I don't know.
And that's actually a really good thing that you pointed out. So with the whiskey page that I run locally, we had two stores. One was changing ownership. One was coming in new. So I went and met with him privately. I was like, hey, this is how you can sell these whiskeys. You can do raffles. You could have a loyalty program. There's different ways you can sell without having museum prices. And one took it to heart. He's been killing it. And the other one, he has his museum and no one ever goes there.
Yeah, and that's what they think. They go, oh, we have the bottles so that people are going to show up because we have the bottles. I said, no, you don't understand. I said, bourbon enthusiasts and stuff that you're going to sell these bottles to that are chasing these are going to tell all their buddies in their groups, don't go to this store because the prices are way too high and to patronize somebody else. Like, for example, we got another store and he's one of our sponsors, Maui's Liquor. I mean, he's almost too fair, in my opinion, because even when I distribute stuff to him, he still wants to take a less percentage. And I'm like, man, I want us to do business together. I want to take care of you as well. But overall, he's just a good person. So he's always fair on everything he does. And that's the difference between, a good store owner and what I was just talking about the other store. So,
well, to that point, I texted Maui a couple days ago and I said, you ever had 10 Cup, Jeff?
I haven't had, I've only had like their basic one. I haven't had like their 10-year or anything.
So they just came out with a 14-year and it's called 14er, and it's like it's like of a mountain. And back in the day, I used to drink 10 Cup. I used to really like a great movie, by the way.
I used to chug it, not drink it.
To chug it. And so I texted Joe and I said, hey man, can you get this for me? Because it came up on my Facebook through 10 Cup and I went onto their store to buy it. It was $75 on their store. Mm-hmm. But then I had to pay like $23 in shipping and handling, right, to get it from Colorado to St. Louis. So I text Joe. I'm like, hey, can you get this for me? He responded back, yep, $69.99. I'm like, shit, that's cheaper.
That's a 14-year.
That's cheaper than what I was going to buy directly from the freaking website of Tin Cup.
Yeah.
So
at 14 year for $69, like that's kind of unheard of.
yep, $69.99 for a
is.
14-year.
And that's just the kind of person he is, and the store he is, and so that's why we linked up with him, and that's why he's one of our sponsors, because he's just an overall great person, and that's what we try to do. Like Brian always says, people helping people. So in the end, that's why we're affiliated with him, and we're just trying to help him as much as he's trying to help us. So he's actually, and I doubt Jeff, and I don't know how much you get over St. Charles County, but he's in Cottleville, Missouri. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I know the area. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
But I know the area. I was raised in like South County, so I'm familiar with all the.
Yep.
I just moved where I'm at now for the job.
Sure.
Yep.
I was going to ask you a question and it just escaped me, Jeff. But
yeah, I mean, I know you kind of touched on in the beginning of what Whiskey 5.0 is, but do you want to elaborate a little more? Because you talked about you go on these cool trips and you kind of vlog stuff, you do barrel picks. Kind of explain exactly what it is and where people can kind of learn about you and check it out and follow, so that if they ever want to go on a trip or they see someone on your page, they kind of get educated a little bit and can follow you and on your little journey that you're doing. So
my journey is Whiskey 5.0 on TikTok.
Mhm.
It's just going around. 99% of it is paid by me, so it's me paying out the money. Don't get paid. The amount of if people think you can make a lot of money on TikTok, and the 1% can, but most of it's just you. It's a hobby. I have fun. I get to meet a lot of cool people, like you guys got to meet you. There is some benefits to it, like I get to do barrel picks with stores, but the amount of effort and work that it's a part-time job, if not a full-time job. So,
well, you can be very consistent with it too, which is what it takes.
You got to be consistent. It has to be a hobby. Like, don't go into this thinking you're going to be rich. Don't go into this thinking you're going to get free bottles, because 99% of my bottles I paid for.
Sure.
Mhm.
And some of these bottles I paid for that I didn't even want, but I just needed content. So it's just
Right.
enjoy it. And if things happen where it benefits you, then hey, take it. Be grateful. But always count your blessings and don't get too high of a head, because 20K on TikTok, like, I'm impressed. I can't believe 20K people want to follow me. But if you do like whiskey videos, all thing whiskey, like if you can see them over there, like I've made these things. I posted how to make those. The lamp up there made out of an E.H. Taylor bottle. I've posted those. So if you like all things whiskey, if you just want to see random vacation trips, do it.
Well, my personal page, I think I have roughly 14,000 followers. And I will tell you the only reason I have 14,000 followers because I had a video go viral. So, Jeff, I don't know if you follow my personal page. Well, it's on the Barrel Room page too, but you probably have seen me fall down this flight of stairs.
I did see that video.
Okay, yeah. So I made $10,000 off that video over 2 years. But that's the only reason why I've got followers on TikTok. It's not because I do
my video that is paid out the most is when my windshield got destroyed by a trucking company. It's going to cost me $800 to replace that windshield, and it made me $40. So there we go.
Yeah.
I would say that's my most viral, but that's the only one that's paid out, because TikTok didn't really pay out back then.
Yeah.
So I think my most viral has like 200-something thousand, and I made zero.
And the only reason why I got paid on mine, it wasn't through TikTok. I got contacted by a company out in California back in 2021. Yeah, 2021, when that video went viral, and they bought the rights of the video from me for 50. Well, they own 50%, I own 50%, and then they turned around and sold it to Daily Mail, F. Jerry, Ridiculousness, all those people. And then I guess I don't exactly know how it works, if I'm being honest with you, but like one month I'd get a check for $300, the next month I get a check for $500, and I guess it was how many times it was viewed on those other channels, and those companies pay this company, which turned around and paid me. I don't exactly understand it, but
if you want to push me out my back porch, I'll let you. Just make sure we're
my wife says, "Hey, you need to fall down the stairs again. We need some more money." I'm like, that one hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead. Just go ahead.
Lucky you didn't break your hip or something. It was icy and
he took
a
bad.
good tumble. You should definitely. If you want a good laugh, I would definitely watch it.
Well, it sounds like you may.
I definitely seen it. It was great.
I'm glad
With the Fallen Brotherhood distillery that you have, Is it injured officers? Is it actual fallen? How does it work?
Are you talking about the Fallen Brothers, the brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what we do is we're a mission-based whiskey company. So we are for profit, but we also donate a lot of money. The bottle that, for those of you who don't know, we're going to present Jeff with a bottle today since he is a police officer, and we just did a release to basically honor and support a police officer in St. Louis City who just lost his leg in an accident downtown in earlier March. So he was actually shot in the leg a couple years ago, recovered, and then just got hit by a high-speed chase on the side of the highway while he had somebody pulled over, lost that same leg. And what we just recently did was a release called Brothers in Arms for him. And so we ended up presenting him a check last Friday for $5,000 just to help out because he ended up having to get a prosthetic, and I don't know what else other financial assistance he needs, but he's not going to be able to go to the police force ever again after that incident. So that's some of the things we do. If we don't have something like that to give money back to, we'll do backstoppers. It's out of Missouri and Illinois. And so basically what it does is support families that have lost a loved one in the line of duty. And that was kind of why I launched the brand, because with me being a firefighter and having two kids and a wife, I needed something to take care of me if I was to die in the line of duty. And with my passion for whiskey and also being a career firefighter, I was like, shoot, what a better way to call it Fallen Brothers and launch the brand and give back to backstoppers, and then also find other avenues like Officer Nate Speece or Fire Captain Tommy Shine, which we just gave $5,000 back to. And we got a couple other releases, as well that we're doing stuff like that for. So that's kind of the gist of the brand and what we do. We don't just necessarily give to police or fire, but if there was a dispatcher that needed some help, we would be more than happy to do that. We did a release called Red Poppy Rye to honor the men and women who serve the country. So we did a military one, and really whoever wants to commission us to do a barrel pick to raise money, we're willing to do that. If not, we'll always give a portion of everything we do back. So that's kind of what we do.
Definitely glad to hear that. Backstoppers actually took care of one of my buddies. He got shot, killed in the line of duty back in, let me look, it's been 2022. Got killed in 2022. And Backstoppers definitely helped him out and helped his family out, and huge supporting force. And they helped with the funeral service and really, really honored him. I will say it was already a hard time as it was, but with them, like, they made it a lot easier to deal with.
Right.
So
they always
anyone that helps Backstoppers, I 100% back, because it meant a lot to me, and I know they meant a lot to my buddy's family, even though he's not here with us anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about this 1924. I just gave myself a little pour. I don't know if you did yet, Jeff, but
got it right here.
It's so complex.
I call it. Sorry, I cut you off.
Go ahead.
No. I always call it my ice cream sundae because you got the banana, the red fruit with the cherry.
Yep.
You get a little chocolate, maybe a little vanilla custard in there, vanilla ice cream, some sort of that. But then you get the oak from the 10-year on the back end for me. And overall, I love everything about it, so I just call it my ice cream sundae, essentially. So I don't know how you feel.
That's a very good description of it. The only thing it doesn't have is the pineapple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just, when I go to the ice cream shop, I just minus the pineapple, So my ice cream sundae just doesn't have pineapple.
Yeah, it's definitely good. There's a lot of flavors going on in it. I think we actually reviewed this one of our very first episodes. And I was blown away at all the different flavors you can get out of it. And it's for 10-year, it's not very oaky, in my opinion. There's a little bit on the back. There's a little bit on the back, but it's not as oaky as other 10-years I've had.
It's definitely red fruit forward. It's got some nice legs around the glass. Definitely oily. Sits on the palate real nicely. That's where I get the oak is the lingering on the palate. That oak comes out on my tongue.
Yeah, agreed.
And it sits there for a little while, which I really like. So
I'd say the initial oaky is like the chocolatiness that you get.
Yep.
And it's not like a dark chocolate. It's like a nice milk chocolate. So definitely the ice cream sundae is the best way you can describe it.
Yeah. I'm sure you've had Russell 10-year. I just was watching a TikTok the other day that was, I can't remember the guy's name whose TikTok it was, but he did the 5 best 10-years under $100. So obviously this doesn't make the cut because it had to be under $100. Eagle Rare was number 1. Number 2 was Russell Reserve 10-year, which I think is a pretty good bottle for $50.
and it might even be less now.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't bought it in a while. I don't know how much it is, but
it used to be $30-some a bottle, but prices change. I haven't bought it in a while, but
Do you think the price on 1924 is where it should be?
So I paid $130 for it. I don't know what MSRP is.
Yeah, I think it's close. I mean, I would say anywhere between 100 and 110 a bottle would be a good price for it, in my opinion.
What is MSRP on it? You know?
I think it was like 115 or something.
I got it for 115.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if that was MSRP or not.
Yeah, I would think so. That's the last I saw. MSRP was 115, but I would say around $100. So it's close to where it needs to be, in my opinion. Because I would, with the complexity on it, the brand, I mean, everything, I would pay that every day. But I just am an Old Forester snob, so I'm okay with that. But
for being 100 proof, that finish, like I would never guess it was 100 proof with the finish. Just how long that Kentucky Hug, how it just lingers and just the flavors, just like I can still taste it.
Yep,
it's just still sitting there. So that's definitely impressive with it.
Yeah,
I was hoping it would be around the $80 mark, but they initially announced. But that's
I guess with it being 100 proof, you probably should be under $100. Now, if they came out with the cask strength for 1924, yeah, definitely 115 would be a good price.
Some moments aren't meant for the crowd. They're meant for the connoisseur. Welcome to the Barrel Room Bourbon Club, an exclusive private sanctuary for those who appreciate the rare, the remarkable, and the refined. Here, fellowship flows as smoothly as the bourbon in your glass. Conversations linger, friendships deepen, and every pour carries a story worth telling. As a single barrel member, your privileges are as exceptional as your palate, including coveted access to the blind bottle, our signature tradition where one distinguished member claims an extraordinary bottle of bourbon, worthy of any collection. Whether it's savoring a private pour from a bottle few have ever seen, or raising a glass among those who share your passion, the Barrel Room is where rarity meets camaraderie. The Barrel Room Bourbon Club. Rare bourbon, true fellowship, unforgettable moments.
So I think you're probably spot on with the $80 to $85 range with a 100 proofer.
Well, even their single barrels are under $100.
Yeah, I think that single barrel from Barrel Blends we got, which was really good.
Bucks?
It was
it 80?
It might have been it. Yeah, close.
I think it was $80, and it was delicious.
Really good, yeah,
I still have a little.
One of my favorite mixers is the 100 proof, just basic Old Forester.
Yep.
Really?
Shoot, that was. Or that's not the one, the 96 proof one, is it? The one that's like $26 or? There's
two of them. There's two basic ones. There's like the 90 proof one or 96 proof, and there's 100 proof black label.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's right.
That one, that's like one of my favorite mixers.
Yep.
Yeah, this 1924 is good.
Cool.
All right, let's we're going to finish this out with the old Blood Oath, which is going to really throw us for a swirl.
Which one?
25. We'll do the tequila finish.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let me put the 24 up there and then get the 25.
Do you have the 20?
Right there.
You have the 25?
Yep.
I don't know if you have the 24.
I do have the 24. You want that up?
Jeff, you think we should do the 24 or do you want to do the Neho?
It is whichever one you like better.
Which one you
I
want?
know which one I like better, but
no. Well, which one do you like better?
I despise the 25. I think
that's an easy decision.
You know, but that the 25 does cater to those that are into tequila now, though, definitely, because I definitely have tried it. I don't know if it's 100% for me yet, but I do think tequila drinkers can now jump on board with some whiskey, and
I haven't had it.
It's got a good Anejo finish.
You haven't had the 25?
Nope.
We'll do the 25 then.
No. We'll do 24. We'll do the 24. I got that right.
If you have had the 25, you need to do the 25.
Well, we can do that next.
All right, we'll do the 25 next. We'll finish with that. We'll do this.
This one I've had. This one's good.
And this 24 is a cap finish, and Blood Oath does. Every year they do this series in a wooden box, and they blend like 3 whiskeys together. Usually,
which one's your favorite Blood Oath you've ever had? Because you're a big Blood Oath guy.
Shoot. Well, there's multiples. I've never had 1, 2, and 3, but I've had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up till now. I really enjoyed the Calvados barrel. I believe that was 7 or 8. Do you remember if Calvados was 7 or 8? I think it
I'm
was.
not a big blood oath person. The first one I ever had was 2019's, and I don't even know what it was, but that was like, ooh, I really want these.
Yeah.
And then I bought the last two, and the 24 I liked. I wasn't disappointed in. The 25 I was disappointed in.
I'm going to say the Calvados barrel. I think that was one of the ones I enjoyed the most, and I enjoyed it so much that I probably purchased 5 of them just because I had a good connection at the time.
Jeez.
And I have one left. So I would share literally that bottle with everybody that came to my house because I wanted everybody to know about Blood Oath because I enjoyed it that much.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
One thing I know about Kenny, he's got like 700 bottles in his basement. He's got boxes upon boxes just of unopened bottles. He buys like 6 at a time. He's like, well, that way if I drink 5 of them, I still have one.
I should have been a firefighter because being a cop, I can afford it.
Well,
I have about 200. I have this, that barrel's full, and then I have a barrel right off camera that you can't see.
Yeah. Well, if you know anything about me, it just ain't firefighting. I mean, he knows me. I had a bounce house company. I've had a lawn business. I got a whiskey
I
business
sell roofs
now.
on the side.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing before I came here. I was selling roofs.
Yeah. Firefighting's good. It pays the bills and stuff like that. But, having the extra side income, because we, like I said, we get 4 days off in a row. So it's always allowed me to do stuff on my off days. But then again, my wife, I have an addictive personality, so I end up doing too much. But as you know.
Yeah.
But
Jeff, what's your schedule? You work like every other day or?
We work 12-hour shifts. So 1 week we'll work 5 days total. That's not consecutively. And then the next week we work 2 days. Like this is my long week. So I was off Wednesday, Thursday. I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the city that I work for time caps us at 80 hours. So every 2 weeks, one of those 7 shifts we work will be an 8-hour day. So like Saturday is our new pay period, and Saturday will be my 8-hour shift.
But you do 12-hour shifts too.
Yes, we do 12. We switched over a year and a half ago. We used to do 8s, but half the department quit because of the 8-hour shifts.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we got so low staff that they had to change the schedule.
Well, and a firefighter and a cop, other than the obvious, are radically different on their schedules. But like this guy, all he does is sit on a recliner and plays on Facebook and sleeps in a nice, comfy bed and smokes cigars.
Holy cow!
And don't forget, slide down. You have to mention
fight a fire.
they also slide down their poles.
Yeah, slide down their poles.
Truly, I wish that was the case.
I know.
Yes,
I'm giving you a hard time.
There are those times, but man, I just feel like lately it's just been nonstop, and it's always we work 2 days in a row, so it's always the second day.
That's what ours
night that we get up 3 or 4 times, and then I got to go home, and I got 2 young kids, and as soon as I get home, I got to get them ready for school, and it's like 100 miles an hour. So, and you're exhausted and stuff like that. So there are a lot of goods, but there are those times where you do definitely make your money. You're definitely worth the money for sure. So.
I remember
our fire department, on the 2 days that they work, one day they're just a fire truck. So they'll have their fire units that just do fire calls. Mm-hmm. And then the other shift is med calls. And then one day you'll be fire, the next day you'll be med. Oh, and if you're your med day, you'll run like crazy. Being on the med truck, it's just wild,
right?
Yes. Well, so I'm on the fire truck all the time because we only have fire trucks in our stations. We work with St. Charles County Ambulance District, who's a separate entity. They basically transport all patients, but we are all ALS pumpers, so we're all medics. So we do initial care, and then the ambulance will transport. But we have a boat and a tanker and all that. But I'm currently on the ladder, but then we have pumpers at all of our other stations. So yeah, I'm on the truck all the time, but we still do our EMS calls go up by like 500 calls every year. It's crazy, but
I just remember
we have a lot of rural area. That's why
we do.
We're like the only paid fire department, and I don't know how many miles, probably 30. Yeah. So we'll do a lot of rural fires if they need help. So that's why we have our fire guys, and then we have our bed trucks.
Yep.
And we also have our ambulance district too, but fire always beats the ambulance because they have to stage.
Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense.
Well, we have a municipality in St. Louis County, De Pere. They do all 3. They're called safety officers, and they do 12-hour shifts as firefighters, police officers, and I don't know. I don't know if they do dispatching or anything like that, but I think they might have to do dispatching too. But I know they definitely go back and forth between being an officer and a firefighter.
If you're not from St. Louis, it's called Des Perez.
That's Perez. Yeah, it's very true.
I have heard that before. Yes.
I know how it's pronounced, but I've had some people who like Des
Illinois.
Perez.
And if you're not from Illinois, it's called Illinois. It's like, no, it's not Illinois. It's just Illinois. That's the silent.
The S on the back. Yeah. So
I only call it Illinois if I'm talking to a Cubs fan.
Yeah, there you go.
there you go. Rightfully so.
I'm not a Cubs fan, but I have to tell you what, the Cardinals haven't been much to watch lately either.
No.
Although
hey, their Springfield Cardinals won the championship.
I saw that actually. And I was watching TikTok, speaking of TikTok last night, about the Cardinals and basically what they're going to do this offseason, or what people think they're going to do. And I hope they do what people think they're going to do, and that's just completely rebuild it. I think you go out and trade people like Arenado and get 3 and 4 and 5 prospects, and you just load up the prospects as much as you can. In 2-3 years, you'll be right back in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sonny Gray announced today that he wants to be traded.
Of course he does. I don't blame him.
No, that's what he said. He's like, I wanted to come here to win. They promised me we were going to win, and we're not winning.
Exactly.
I don't blame him. Like,
I don't
if I
blame
was in
him.
sports, I'd want to win.
That will happen for sure. So,
especially with his age, like he's getting his money. He's already got it. Now it's time to win. Bring home a ring.
Yep. They were talking last night. Arenado is owed $31 million next year, and they were trying.
If we can get someone just to take a salary, I'd let him go.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They basically said last night that the Cardinals will have to eat half of that $31 million, most likely.
holy crap!
Can you imagine us in our profession, like getting paid $31 million for 1 year?
Well, can you imagine?
I'd only work 1 year.
Exactly same.
Could you imagine our profession being paid by our former employer just $15 million a year to not even work for them?
Yeah.
That would be even better. That'd be the icing on the cake.
You double dip like that, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Let's dive into this one. What do you think about this one, Jeff?
I don't hate it. It's very wine forward to me.
Mm-hmm.
tastes like a port.
So
And
this one actually is finished in Merlot and Cabernet casks. So go ahead. I cut you off a little bit.
are those dry wines?
Yes, drier. Like the Cab, Merlot is a very dry wine. Cab is definitely a dry wine, but it's a little less than Merlot.
This is one that I would like with, like, I like this one with a steak. Like this is one I want with a hearty meal. It's not my go-to, but out of the two blood oats that I have, this one is by far the better.
Yeah. I haven't had the 25, but it's not bad. I'm not a big wine. I mean, I'm not a big whiskey and wine. Like, I'm not a big port guy. I don't know. If I'm drinking whiskey, I want to drink whiskey. If I want to drink wine, I want to drink wine. I don't know if you ever had High West has a bottle that's Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
That bottle.
I'd like their Midwinter's Night Dram.
High West got some great products. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they have a Sauvignon Blanc one that I don't remember where we. Actually, I think Maui brought it here. Was a pick.
Yep.
I was not a fan of that one. It's the flower, just like. First of all, I don't know how you can even drink Sauvignon Blanc. It tastes like you're literally drinking a wildflower.
My wife loves Sauvignon.
So does my sister-in-law, Lisa.
Yeah.
That's all.
I know zero about wine. I know my wife likes mimosas. That's all I know.
This one is a 98.6 proofer. I know it's a blend of some years. I can't tell. Usually they do like a 16, 14, and a 10 year blended together, but this one in particular, man, it's hits your nose super dry, and when you taste it, that dry Merlot flavor hits hard on the beginning, and then you get almost the sort of like grape Jolly Rancher, like subtle. I mean, it wouldn't be as sweet as that, but maybe more grapey than Jolly Rancher. I probably shouldn't say Jolly Rancher, but that's kind of just a way so you can kind of pick up that flavor of the grape, just putting that Jolly Rancher in your head. But that's kind of what I get off of it. Maybe a little red fruit. I definitely get the oakiness because it does have some age to it. But overall, I do think it's a decent. I think it's a good whiskey. Finished whiskey, that is.
Do they get their juice from NGP? Or does Luxro really distill their own?
Luxro does distill their own. They did acquire. I think they acquired MGP. So yeah, I thought Or I can't remember.
I think MGP bought them because when I was there,
yes.
When I was there, they had tons of Penelope, and I was like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yep. You are right. I was wrong. Yes, MGP acquired Lux Row, and MGP also acquired Penelope. So they're owned by them. However, the Penelope does not distill, but Lux Row does. Now it doesn't say that they aren't using some of that in their newer stuff. Who knows? But I know they have some barrels set aside.
That's crazy.
So, and I know John Rempe's probably using, if I was knowing, he's probably using stuff that Lux Row distilled.
Yeah.
So
I thought Rebel might have been MGP that they used.
Probably.
Rebel's definitely Lux Row. You ever go to the Enterprise Center, it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's Lux Row because one time I went there, they had a race car in front. I was like, that's weird.
Well, I went to Matt Rife, was it last weekend? No, it was 2 weekends ago with my wife. And I went up to the Rebel. They have a big old thing in the Enterprise Center with Rebel. And I went up and I was like, can I get your, I don't remember what it was, neat? And she's like, no, you got to have something on it. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you got to have at least some water in it or some Sprite or something. Yeah. I was like, can you make an old fashioned? She's like, sure. So she makes an old fashioned with Sprite. I'm like, why do you put Sprite in an old fashioned?
Because they use that as their simple syrup, technically. Because you technically can, because Sprite acts as the simple syrup in an old fashioned. Unfortunately, some restaurants and places are doing that.
Oh,
and
it's nasty.
It's really not the way that I would personally enjoy an old fashioned, but they are using the sugar version Sprite as their simple syrup.
Ugh. It was not.
You can judge an old fashioned by what type of cherry they use.
Well,
if you put it on a sundae, you know it's going to be a bad old fashioned.
That's right. That's so true.
Yes, and there are places that definitely do that. Back to this one, Jeff, you should try a Merlot, and you'll really understand why that has that dry bite on it. Because a Merlot definitely puts that kind of bite and flavor off of it, and that's what you're getting off of the beginning of this whiskey. So definitely try one of those sometime, and then you'll understand it. Try it next to it, and then you really see, like, holy cow.
It's funny you mentioned that, because while I was doing a roofing job yesterday, I was out in wine country, and I was like, man, it'd be really cool to do like a whiskey and wine pairing.
Yep.
No one's ever had it. But I found a little distillery in the middle of nowhere that was beautiful area. It was gorgeous. And I was like, I need to hit them up, be like, you want to do a whiskey and wine pairing?
Well, let me know. I'm in. Well, we could bring a finished whiskeys that are done in like a port barrel, and then a cab barrel and a Merlot barrel, and then pair them with their wines, and then see like this finishes that happen to the whiskey and how they correlate to the actual flavor of the wine. So
that'd be really cool.
And then pair it with some cheese. That's always good.
Yeah, you got cheese. Wine and cheese have to go together.
And crackers.
Crackers, yes.
Yeah.
So
a charcuterie board, I wouldn't be too opposed to.
Well,
yes.
Thankfully, Kenny's wife owns a company that does charcuterie.
My wife does have that, yes.
So, well, you want to present him the bottle?
Yeah. Do we want to do the añejo real quick, or
we can. You want to do that, Jeff, or do you say you despise it? So if you don't want to do it, we don't.
No, I want you to try it. I want to get your opinion.
Let's just do it real quick. We got a couple minutes, so let's do that real quick. And
I just broke the seal. That's how that tells you I haven't had it yet.
But you like tequila?
I like tequila, but I will tell you the only other one I've had, I wasn't a big fan of it. I just wasn't a big fan of the tequila and the whiskey mix. I don't know. It's an interesting.
I'm still getting used to the tequila finished whiskeys, but
I'm assuming that's a newer thing.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you like tequila like a margarita, or do you like tequila and water, or do you drink tequila at all?
I've had a couple tequilas. This is a quart from one. What's it called?
Yeah.
Casa Noble.
Yep.
I didn't mind it, but I've really just not really dove into tequila. I know they have Fortaleza at one of my local shops.
It's an additive-free tequila, so a lot of the additive-free ones are really nice, really smooth, and Fortaleza, the one you just mentioned, is really good. And the only reason I got turned on to it is a buddy of mine, Craig Brewer. He's super into whiskey, but he just got it super into tequila, and he's got addictive personality. Once he gets into it, he starts trying everything, and he's been pushing the tequila on me, and I've been trying, and I'm like, okay, that's really good, And then there's also some of the ones that have a ton of additives in them, and they're just like, oh man.
I don't get a lot of tequila off this.
It's a subtle finish.
I get peppercorn just right on the nose, just all pepper.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that too, but I don't get any tequila off of it. But that also could be because I've had 4 glasses already.
I think so. If you try this right off the bat, you're gonna get heavy añejo finish, but I shouldn't say heavy because it's more of a subtle añejo finish, but you're gonna get hit with it for sure.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's light.
I get the tequila on the late finish, like it's right there at the end.
Yep.
But to me, it's just very dry, very peppery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's a 98.6 proof again.
And me being a huge Blood Oath fan, that has been one of my least favorite ones that I've ever had. But not knocking it by any means. I just still am getting used to the tequila finished whiskeys. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
I prefer drinking them separate, like you said. But
yeah, if I'm drinking tequila, I want it to be on the rocks or in a margarita or a Paloma.
Yeah, but I think with the market and tequila being so hot, a lot of brands jumped on board and try to run the different finish with the different tequilas and all that stuff. So I totally get it. And some of it's been a hit, some of it's not.
I've never had tequila finish in a whiskey barrel.
They do that, though.
They do that. I've never had that.
They do that.
It would be interesting to try that. Because I got to assume you're still going to get more tequila flavor than you are going to get the whiskey.
Some of I think the Reposados and all that stuff are done in a barrel, so they're aged. So that's where they get the color from. So maybe I don't know if they're charred or toasted. That's something I'd have to look into. But
I have no idea.
I blended them.
You blended them?
No, I'm gonna blend them.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So Jeff thinks that's a no for the 25 Blood Oath.
Yeah, he's
25 is just not my thing. Did you say you were members of the St. Louis Whiskey Society?
Or we're both members of the St. Louis Bourbon Society. Yep.
It's their Sugar Cube Club. They have a club that's down in St. Charles off Main Street. They do about 100 lockers. And so it's a paid membership. You bring bottles in, you leave them there. There's also a bar, and everything behind the bar is free. They have ambassadors, so you just tip the ambassador that night that's working the bar. And they host a ton of events. Speaking of that, do you want to touch on the event they have coming up?
Their big event, and Jeff, you may have seen this. I've shared it a couple times. Is their St. Louis Bourbon Festival on October 3rd, Friday, October 3rd.
5 to 9.
5 to 9 down by the Limp Mansion. They rope off a bunch of blocks.
It's amazing.
Oh, you've been to it?
I've been it for 4 years. This is the first year that we're not going to attend. We've had a lot of bad luck this year with my wife's wedding ring getting stolen, my windshield getting blown out, my child almost died in spring.
Oh, geez.
So it's just been a rough year. So this year we're like, hey, because normally we do the VIP, we get a hotel. It's like an $800 weekend.
Oh, wow.
So we're like, this year, let's take a break.
Well, I won't be there either, Jeff. So I will be in Arizona for my wife's birthday. So
it's a shame because it'll be the first year we show up as a brand, and we'll have a tent and be sampling all of our stuff. So it'd be cool if you had been there. You could have tried all of our stuff. And
I know. I'm sad. It hurts my heart. It's painful. I just want to sleep that day away, so it's over. That is one of my favorite events. If you haven't been to the St. Louis Bourbon Festival, if you want to get into whiskey, it's a great opportunity to get into whiskey. It goes to a good cause. They help out a lot of officers, law enforcement.
Yep.
It's a great thing. I love it every year, and they've added so much every year of the VIPs. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is, and Code 3 is the organization that has stepped up and joined in with St. Louis Bourbon Society, and that's exactly what they do. Like you said, they help out first responders and all that stuff. So Code 3 is an awesome organization, so it's kind of cool to be a part of that as well. And I know, it's the biggest bourbon festival in the U.S., apparently.
That's
at least nationwide, and so it's a huge event. Old Carter, VIP, Barrel King, Found North, Michter's, all those brands are going to be VIPs there. So
if you're a Buffalo Trace fanboy, get the Sazerac one. You got to try rare stuff.
There is that. So like we're talking about, I think they're almost sold out. So definitely go check them out. Grab your tickets now before they are gone. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And
well, Jeff, it's been a true pleasure having you on. Nice to finally meet you face to face, even though we're kind
Nice to meet you face to face. I was wondering all along if this was going to be face to face because I never asked. I'm like, I don't know if it's just audio. I don't know what it is.
I guess it should have been a little more clear.
I got home from selling Bruce. I'm like, I'm going to take a shower and clean up just in case.
yeah. But Jeff, real quick before we head off, on behalf of Barrel and Bourbon Club and Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, we do want to present you this bottle since you are in law enforcement. This bottle, like we said, gave $5,000 back to Officer Nate Speece. It is called Brothers in Arms, and as a fireman to a fellow police officer, it's my honor to present you with this bottle and give this to you on behalf of us. So thank you for your time, buddy, and this is for you. We'll send it your way, and
you let us know how you like it.
Let us know how you like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll try sample, but that's going to be my bottle that I'll drink on my anniversary of my fallen friend. It's going to be my bottle for him.
That's cool.
Sure.
That's cool.
I'll at least try it before to give you a review, but other than that, it'll be like my memorial bottle for him.
Well, how about what I do is I'll send you a 2-ounce pour separate of that. That way you can open it up on his anniversary next year, and then you'll have that sample to review, and then you can let us know and post it and tag us in it and all that stuff. So how about that?
I mean, I'm not going to complain to that. If you ever need any help with barrel picks, let me know.
Yeah, we will for sure, Jeff. It's been a pleasure getting to chat with you and get to know you better. I want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors: Grillo's Shop and Barrel, Maui's Liquor, Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, Barrel and Bourbon Club, and Edward Jones. And then to you, Jeff, and Whiskey 50, thank you for your time. And if you have not followed Whiskey 50 on TikTok, I would suggest you go follow it. We'll repost some stuff from this episode onto our TikTok and tag him in it. And he just has it's a really fun page. I don't know. I like it. I enjoy
it. One more thing. I think if you go and follow him, once you hit a certain number, you're going to be doing a raffle, right, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. Talk about that, Jeff.
Yep. I'm going to be giving away a bottle at 20K. I'm 500 away. It's going to be a bottle of I need 500. It's going to be a bottle of your choice. Obviously, it can't be Pappy 23, but if you can't get Blanton, E.H. Taylor, I mean, I got an extra Weller 12. I can probably amp the stakes and give away the Weller 12.
There you go.
Sweet.
The bottle is going to be your choice, as long as it's reasonable. I typically don't pay secondary because I think the secondary market's stupid. Mm-hmm. So if I can get it close to MSRP, then it's yours.
Sweet. That's awesome. Well, again, go follow Whiskey 50 on TikTok. Again, we'll put his handle on the screen right now. And we just appreciate you, Jeff, not only for your service, but for joining us and just laughing it up and having a good time today. By the way, I love your T-shirt.
My friend actually made this for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was looking for another shirt, but I don't know where it's at. So
hey, look, I think that's a good shirt.
Well, and while we're talking shirts, my brand, this is coming out in October. It's our breast cancer shirts. You know, another thing we do is we honor those who, you know, and give back a portion of what we do to breast cancer awareness. So this is our shirts that are coming out in October, and I decided to wear today. I just picked it up today. So,
well, and on that note, the Barrel and Bourbon Club has their first release coming out the end of October, and a portion of the proceeds from that bottle is going back to breast cancer awareness. So be on the lookout for that bottle coming out soon.
It's 11-year double oak, so it's a killer.
I can't see your shirt because I'm where your chest is.
Makes sense. Nice. Makes sense. So thanks, guys. Great episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.